All right, welcome back, everybody, to the Raider roster report. This is Raider Sparks. It is Sunday, May the 2nd, and yeah, we've finished up the draft. Curious to hear about everybody's thoughts on how the Raiders did this year in the 2021 draft. I personally think they did really well. I think the team definitely improved. Definitely hit the needs, obviously, with the very first pick in Leatherwood. I know a lot of rumbling about overdrafting and all that, but I think overall, I think the Raiders are going to be really happy with Leatherwood. And he's immediately going to start as our right tackle, so definitely looking forward to that. Trayvon Mooring, everybody's, at least in Raider Nation's #1 safety, to get him at the 43 pick is fantastic. Certainly a terrific pick for Raider Nation. I think he's going to be the starting free safety. And then Kuntz out of Malcolm Kuntz out of Buffalo. Again, another edge rusher. Definitely fills a need. We talked about it. We actually did a video here at the Raider roster report if the Raiders would go with a outside linebacker that can rush the passer, or if they're going to go with a traditional defensive end that can rush the passer and drop in coverage. And so they went with the latter. I think it was a good choice because eventually he could go into being a possible Leo role. He compared him to Yannick. So I think the Raiders are getting not only value right away on the edge and playing that same linebacker spot, that outside stand-up rusher that they need, the speed guy, but also in the future to be able to go in and if you don't re-sign Yannick in a couple years to play that Leo role, I think he could do both, which is an awesome pick. And then Divine Diablo, play that strong safety or that positionless role that we talked about. I think those are 4 excellent picks. Obviously, we got way better on defense. But then going into day 3, and probably my most favorite pick of the draft is Tyreek Gillespie. I think if anybody's been listening to my show here, he is my #1 target for the Raiders. In fact, the only one that I guaranteed, the only player in the whole draft that I guaranteed would be a Raider, happened to land. I won't deny that after getting Mooring and Diablo, I kind of thought that night after day 2 that we wouldn't get him. But I did say on my safety show that if I was drafting for the Raiders, I would draft 3 safeties. But I said on that episode that they'll probably only do 2. They did 2 in the first 2 days, and then of course, that they decided to go for the 3rd safety. They traded up to get Tyreek Gillespie, which is so cool. This guy is going to be a stud for us. He's going to be able to contribute with special teams right away, but also fill in that free safety spot and strong safety. You can do both. But just what a hitter. You can put him in the slot and cover, but just a straight up football player this dude is, and he's going to bring a lot of value to the Raiders. And we'll talk a little bit more in depth about the roster. I just want to go through the guys real quick. But anyway, Tyreek Gillespie, 5'11", basically 6 foot 207, prototypical size and height and everything else. Weight for free safety for Gus, 4'3", 40. It's really good. 706 3 cone, 9 foot or 9.0 broad jump, 35.5 vertical, 15 bench press reps. So definitely an athlete. He's got speed. That's one thing we got is speed, which is awesome. Next draft pick is Nate Hobbs. Terrific player, 6 foot, 195, 4'3", 40, 40.5 vert, 11.3 broad jump, and then 3.96 short shuttle, which is fantastic. A 6.68 3 cone. So this guy can move. He is actually on my safety video as one of the sleepers for the Raiders. We talked about him briefly. Thought he would be a UDFA, but obviously with that speed, that 3.96 short shuttle, this 3 cone, and the 6.68 3 cone with a 4.38 40, that's going to get you bumped up to the 5th round. And he's a hitter. He's physical. He's tough. Mike Mayock's interview, they talked a lot about him playing slot. So it looks like that's probably maybe where they're going to focus. But he's 6 foot, 195, and he could play the outside. I think he could probably even play some safety if they wanted. But I think they're gonna. I think they got him to play the slot. Yeah, let's see what happens there. But yeah, tough physical guy. If you haven't seen it yet, he actually has an interview about becoming a Raider on YouTube. It's really good. He's really builds himself as sort of an underdog type, has that sort of mentality, and so the Raiders had 2 Zoom meetings with him. I think they were really high on him. According to Mayock, that scouts were coming to him saying, "Hey, you got to keep looking at this tape because it's really good." And eventually convinced him that he's a 5th rounder for us, and so they were able to pull the trigger on him. I think it's great. He's going to bring a toughness into the building and competitiveness, and so that safety room and that actually all the DB room got pretty tight because I don't think Gus is necessarily going to just pigeonhole guys as your safety. You're a cornerback or slot or whatever. I think if you could cover, you're going to play. So if you're a safety that can cover, you're going to be on the field regardless. So, and he often uses 3 safety sets, so that's why I thought, drafting 3 safeties would be good for us, kind of given where we're at with our safeties, and also, so guys that can cover. I mean, if you can cover, you're a DB, get out there and cover. So the last guy that they drafted, Jeremy Morrissey, guy that. Obviously, I didn't have on the radar. It's interesting because all the draft picks that they got before Morrissey here at the Raider roster report, we had talked about in some fashion or another being fits for the Raiders. We talked about Leatherwood as being the second best offensive tackle choice for the Raiders. And I think I had the Darisaw as the number 1 choice. And I think the injury was more so, was worse off than I think we thought. So Leatherwood, I think, became their pick. TCU, I had Divine Diablo, I had Tyree Gillespie as the free safety pick, just because I didn't see a way to get Mooring. I really thought we would go offensive tackle in the first round, and I had no idea he'd fall to 43. And then Conce, I had him more of a 5th, 6th round pick, but somebody climbing up the boards, but somebody I liked the profile because of his ability on the edge. And then the future to become a Leo, so we highlighted him. And Divine Diablo, same thing as Mooring. I thought we'd be getting our strong safety later in the draft, only because we had Abram and Joseph, and so I thought it'd be more of a backup type role. So I thought we'd be looking more 4th, 5th roundish to get that player. I just didn't think Divine Diablo would be there, but since he was, awesome. He's a fantastic player. Obviously, I highlighted Tyree Gillespie a lot. Nate Hobbs, I had him in as a sleeper, but at safety. But it looks like they're going to project him at slot cornerback. So the Raider roster report, we were pretty good. We obviously the draft, where people were drafted and that type of thing was tough. But we highlighted the right player. So we were, I felt like we were on track with how we were looking at players and needs for the Raiders. So I feel good about that. Jeremy Morrissey was just a standout at the Senior Bowl. I didn't have him on the radar because he was obviously listed as a center. I didn't feel that we needed that, but looked like at the Senior Bowl he got a last minute call, the day before type call to come play. He showed up and played, and Mayock said that he played most of the game at center and guard. So there's guard traits there. 6'3", 303, 10-inch hands, but short arms, 32. That's why he's a center probably, but he can play guard. Has some athleticism. What I read about him, I don't know much about him, but what I read about him, he's a really good positional blocker, so would be somebody that maybe could add a little bit of weight, play the guard position, and be able to, fit the scheme for Tom Cable as they're going to do more, zone blocking type schemes. So getting angles, positional blocking is really what he needs. So that's kind of it. And then that gets us to 78 players. Obviously, we can go up to 90, and then we signed so far, or at least that I've been able to find on the internet, 9 UDFA guys. And so let's see here. So the UDFA guys that we signed, one, we got Darius Still out of West Virginia. I'll be honest with you, I didn't have him on my interior defensive line prospects for the Raiders because I watched him play. Actually, I was in a bar with a buddy watching the West Virginia game, and they kept talking about the Stills brothers about being NFL prospects. I just didn't see it. And I was more hoping for the Raiders to get a backup one technique, so somebody heavier. I think he only weighed in at like at 280, somewhere around there. So a little bit undersized defensive tackle, and it doesn't look like it in this picture. But maybe they're going to build him up a little bit. Who knows? And we'll see. I just didn't feel like he could even kind of compete with our three techniques that we already have on the roster. But as a UDFA, I guess you bring him in and give it a shot. So hope for the best for the young man. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, definitely one spot on the roster that I thought we would address, even in the draft. I was hoping we would address is get more of a one technique, a bigger, 300+ pound guy to come in and try to, be a backup to, let's see here, to be a backup to Hankins. So, but that didn't work out. You never know. We still have 3 more roster spots left, so we might grab somebody in free agency or whatnot to fill that spot. I think that's still sort of a void in our defense. But anyways, we'll go to the next guy, Duvery Hamilton, offensive tackle. Just a really big guy, definitely a project out of Duke. 6'7", 311, 10 and 8 inch hands, 33 arms. A little shorter than Tom Cable might want. 81 3/4 wingspan. So I heard some people saying move him to guard, but 6'7" or 6'8", whatever he is, that's tough to play guard at that height. So I think he's just going to be a tackle that they give a shot to. 5'2", 740, 33.5 vert, 9'4" broad jump, 4'8", short shuttle, and a 21 bench press. So it's decent athleticism, especially a guy that size. And let's see what happens with him. Maybe he can stick around, make the practice squad, and eventually be maybe a swing type tackle for us. And yeah, we'll see what happens. But our line's pretty dialed in right now, so he might be just looking to be a practice squad player. Doubt he'll make the active roster. So next, Max Richardson. I actually didn't know much about him. Started looking at a little bit of stuff on him. Just a traditional Mike linebacker, which is great. I think we needed a depth at linebacker, and to be able to bring him in and get him on the practice squad. If something happens with Nick goes down, then we'd have a backup Mike linebacker. Just really a tackling machine in his career. Doesn't have the foot speed that people are looking for right now, but can definitely handle the Mike position. He's good in zone, drop back short coverage, that type of thing. In his 2020 had 99 tackles, 47 solo in 11 games, 8 tackles for loss, 3.5 sacks, 13 quarterback hurries. So he can get after the quarterback too. He can blitz. He's a special teamer as well. So somebody that I think can get a spot on our practice squad and eventually down the road possibly turn into our Mike linebacker. You never know. They're going to give him a shot. He had 4'8", 240, so definitely not the fastest guy. 28 bench press, so he's strong. 4.24 short shuttle and 720 3-cone. 34 vert and 12-1 broad jump. So he's athletic, just doesn't have the straight line speed, but the short area quickness is good. I think that's what shows up in his short area coverage skills. He's able to do that. So you never know. Again, tackling dude. And again, all of these guys are, he's a team captain. So definitely team captains or somebody that the Raiders look for. Jeremy Morrissey, I think he was the voted best walk-on. Kind of like he got the a Hunter Renfrow type award of being a type of player like that. So they're definitely getting high character guys in the building and try to build off of that. So then they went to got a couple running backs, Trey Regis out of Louisiana, and I actually profiled his teammate Elijah Mitchell, somebody that I wanted to draft for the Raiders, but they chose to not do it in the draft. Obviously, they didn't have enough draft picks. But then go the UDFA route to bring in some running backs. So he's 5'10", 230, 31 vert, 4'9", 140. So not the fastest guy either, but a big running back. Takes contact well, doesn't go down. So somebody that could come in and fill in for Jacobs if needed. If he goes down and needs to blow or whatever, he can definitely handle the load. No doubt about that. 3,572 yards in his career, 38 touchdowns on 596 attempts. One thing I noticed is his age. He's already 25 years old, so we'll see how much he's got left in the tank. If he can make the squad and stick, we'll see. But yeah, definitely brought in a big running back here to come in and compete for that running back 3 spot if we have to let Richard go for salary cap reasons. I think, and that's kind of the philosophy they did, because the other guy they brought out of Wisconsin, Garrett Groshek, is also a big running back. He's 5'11", 220. So they definitely brought in some bigger running backs. I think they're kind of thinking of the running backs along the line I am. We don't really need a traditional third down back, but it'd be nice to get a running back that could handle a load if Jacobs goes down and act kind of like the number one back. So that's kind of where we're at with the running back room, and I think that's what they were looking for. That's what I was kind of trying to target in my running back profiles. Running backs like this that can definitely handle a workload like a number one back. But anyways, Garrett's 4.59 40, 4.22 short shuttle, and 6.96 3-cone. It's really good numbers. Really athletic. 11.5 broad jump, 33.5 vert. So really good numbers there. 235 attempts in his career, 7 touchdowns, 1,216 yards, but he also had 79 receptions for 611 yards. So I don't know. If I had to guess, Garrett would probably make the team here over Trey. More athletic, younger, that type of thing. But Trey had some good film and definitely some good runs in Louisiana. So we'll see how that all plays out with the running back situation. Even if, and we'll see if we have to cut Richard. Because if not, he'll be the third running back. So we'll kind of let that play out and see what happens. The other thing they did, they signed a couple of receivers. Dylan Stoner out of Oklahoma State. And I'll just comment about the receivers. I was hoping they were going to bring in an X-type receiver draft. I did a draft profile on some X receivers that I thought would be good pickups. But they chose to go a different route. Dylan Stoner is more of a possession-type receiver, kind of like a Renfro, 6 foot, 194, a 4.57 40. It's not blazing, but 4.18 short shuttle and a 6.93 3-cone, 37 vert. So he's definitely athletic. He's got the short area quickness, that type of thing. But yeah, it's really just maybe sort of a possession-type receiver. See if he can stick on the roster. We'll see what happens there. And then DJ Turner out of Pitt. This is more of, I think, a pickup for a kick return, punt returner. As you know, I profiled some kick punt returners. And actually, I didn't notice DJ, so that's my bad. I didn't catch his numbers. Kind of slipped by me, but definitely has the ability to do the kick return, punt return for him. And somebody that could possibly stick on special teams. As a receiver, again, he's a smaller guy. He's not the biggest guy in the world. So we'll see if he's able to stick and do the kick punt returns for us. But as a receiver, he had 44 receptions, 634 yards, 3 touchdowns. 15 punt returns for 125 yards and 14 kick returns for 311 yards. So decent numbers. It's 5'9", 206. He's 4.59 40. So it's not the fastest. He's built more like a running back, actually. He has the numbers of a running back. 35.5 vert, 10-1 broad jump. So we'll see if he can stick with the role. I do think that they were looking for somebody that could do the kick return role. And so they chose to get DJ Turner here. Next guy they picked up, TJ Morris. Let's see here. Defensive back out of Stony Brook. I know nothing about him. He's 5'10", 185. Did have 131 tackles and 9 interceptions in his career, so got some good ball skills there. I think he played some safety and some quarterback, so he's got a little bit versatility. And yeah, we'll see what happens with him. See if he can make the squad. But the defensive back room got busy, man. Those guys, Amit, Keeson, Isaiah. Let's see here, Joseph, Heath for sure. Those guys are all in the hot seat. We'll see who makes the squad coming out of camp. Heath might be just maybe a cut for money reasons. You know, that $3.5 million we could save to bring on a vet DB might happen. We'll see now that we've got so many DBs, so much depth there now. But the other guys, you know, they need to step up their game. I'd even include Arnett there, but his contract is too big still. So yeah, I think every guy in the DB room better work their ass off this year in camp, because there's guys that are coming in to definitely challenge for those positions. I don't think anybody's necessarily, say Mullen, I guess is, but other than that, I think all these other guys, and Abram probably couldn't cut Abrams because his contract as well, but those guys better be working their ass off this this offseason and come into camp ready to roll, because these other guys are going to definitely be ready to roll. And the other guy they brought in is Matt Bushman out of BYU, another older player, but definitely one of the players with huge upside. He would have been considered one of the top tight ends coming out last year, but he stayed 2020, or actually missed all of 2020 with an Achilles injury. So he's coming off a bad injury, and we'll see if he make his comeback. But 6'4", 245. Strong 23 bench press reps, 4.53 short shuttle, 7.13 3-cone, but like 4.6, 4.7 type 40 guy. So we'll see. We'll see if he can stick. He's supposed to be really good. From what I hear, he just didn't play last year, so didn't have a lot on him. But the year before, when he did play, he was a stud. Like I said, he could have been a higher draft pick, but that injury cost him some draft position for sure. But definitely like the fact that they're bringing in tight ends to challenge for that tight end 3 spot. We talked about that as a possible upgrade to Carrier, and so that's going to be a good battle in camp. You know, we have Bauer, we got with Carson Williams, I think is his name, the basketball player we just brought in, and then we brought in Matt Bushman to compete for that tight end 3 spot. So we'll see how it all goes. But overall, definitely the Raiders have some still some room on the roster to get up to 90. I think we got about 3 players we can bring in, and then, of course, any cuts that we have to do to bring our I think we'll still have to cut at least 1 player to get our draft class signed, but we'll see how that all kind of plays out in the next few days. And if they bring in any more UDFA guys, we'll try to keep everybody updated. But yeah, overall, my impressions of the draft, I think it was really good. I like the fact that we concentrated so much on defense. Obviously, that was the necessity, so I think that's awesome. Can't wait to see how these guys go. Get into. Hopefully, they have a rookie camp. That was definitely missing last year, and it showed up on the field. So, hoping for a rookie camp this year. Hoping for the best for these guys. And like I said, the guys that are currently on the roster better be ready, because they brought in some defenders here that can really play and are looking to contribute right away. So those guys better be on their game. Hopefully, they're working hard this offseason, and we can get the Raiders back to the playoffs here. So, anyways, that's all I got today. Please like, subscribe to the video. Please share and comment. I'd like to see what Raider Nation thinks about the draft. And yeah, until next time, this is Raider Sparks. You guys have a good day.